Hello, everyone. This is Mabel Chang um, from Singapore. She and I connected together through ONPASSIVE. Everybody knows that there are so many people that we get to meet in ONPASSIVE, and this is Mabel Chang. Mabel, if you would say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone, especially the OnPassive Global family. And thank you, Julie, for inviting me into this chat, heart to heart chat, and thank you again for, wanting to get to know us better. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mabel. So, where should we start? I think we should start from the very beginning. Tell us a little bit about where you were born, about a little bit about your family, and are you always in Singapore? Anything that you're willing to share with me today.
Okay. I am I was born in Singapore, all the time in Singapore, and in Asia, in the city of Malaysia, Singapore especially, that I know a little bit more, is that we do have people coming from China and India migrating to Malaysia and Singapore. So many of our forefathers are from these two countries or more. And for my particular family, my father is from Taiwan. So in his early teens, he kind of moved from Taiwan to Hong Kong. And from Hong Kong, Julie, he met a nice lady, got married, and had two children, two sons, two boys. One unfortunately passed away. Then my father continued his journey. He came to Singapore.
Oh,
and that's where he met my mother. Okay, I think at that time in the early days, they do that. So he came to Singapore, he met my mother, and my mother in that early years gave birth to three children, one girl, the eldest is my sister, and two boys. So three right, one after the other. And of course, the Hong Kong lady, actually that time was very much still Chinese China. She came over to Singapore, and but we couldn't come together as a bigger family. So she left Singapore with her son, and she went back to China.
So, how is it? How is it growing up in Singapore? I know nothing about Singapore.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I know until I watched the movie Crazy Rich Asian.
Yeah.
And just a little bit, but not much. So tell me a little.
Growing up there, I must mention, when you talk about Singapore, our first Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, and Singapore has got no resources, absolutely nothing, no natural resources. What we had at that moment was a million or so of citizens for Mr. Lee Kuan Yew to manage, and I must say, as people would know, he did very well to kind of nurture us to be on our own. We managed to grow Singapore from almost like a fishing village, third world, to a first world nation by the time, in the year 2000 or so, or is getting better and better. And what really happened is that we were not well off. Singapore as a nation, we had no resources, only that citizens, and we really grew from nothing. We were staying in, I do not, in Malay they call it kampongs, villages, and with nothing much. So he really brought us from nothing to something the red dot Singapore in Southeast Asia. During that time, Julie, in the 50s, 60s, and even right up to the year 70, we were a British colony
Mhm.
managed by Britain. So something about how my family livelihood was, my mother was able to speak English, so she was actually serving the British Army in
Mhm.
the British barracks, the barracks where all the soldiers were staying, you know. So from there, our livelihood came from dry cleaning the the boys' clothes and tailoring. It's
Mm.
good business. It's good business. And uh, probably during my mother's time, English speaking was still not that fluent. So, with her English speaking ability, she managed to get exclusive rights to some of these barracks. So she's a very, very capable lady. Uh, so, about her, she died when she was 43,
Oh,
43 years, very
wow.
young. She got a heart issue. She had a heart issue, died of heart attack. She left us overnight. She left us without a word, just like that, collapse.
Wow.
So it's very painful for us, you know, when someone is not even able to say goodbye, you know. And then I think I was about 14 at that time.
Mhm.
And then my sister at that time was about maybe 20, 22, 23. So she became our mother.
Mhm.
So my sister, and then she's older than me by about 9 years. So basically, the whole family was almost managed by her. And so she's the eldest. Today, she is 78.
Wow.
Then I told you they were one after the other, right? So my
Right.
sister 70, my elder brother is 77, then 76. Now it comes to me, I'm 69 going to 70. There's a gap of 7 years. Julie, I'm an accident child. They got me accidentally. My mother didn't want me because it's a gap of 7 years, you know.
Wow.
Um, she wanted to abort me, attempted many times, but somehow I thank God I was preserved. And then 7 years later, I got my younger brother. So
Wow.
it's 7-7. And but my younger brother, my mother wanted. My mother wanted my younger brother, you know. But I thank God. I thank God for preserving everything. Then I told you about my China brother. My China
Mhm.
brother is older than my sister a few years, so he is in the 80s. Why I want to mention him is that he's a very nice man, very
Mm.
nice. And so in a way, I have a brother in China that we visit a few years a time, and a
Mhm.
very nice man.
Wow.
And if I touch on him, I must say his my oldest brother in China has got a daughter, and she's with us here in Singapore. So I have
Oh,
a niece. I have a niece from China, and very dear to us. Very nice lady also. So I'm blessed with very nice siblings.
what a
Although my mother left us early.
what a beautiful story. You are the child that God said you can't you can't take her out. You gotta have her. You're the miracle child. So how is it like growing up as teenager? Your mom wasn't there. Your mom's no longer with you, and your sister
Mhm.
became your mom. How does she handle it? Were you all pretty behave nice to her? How does she handle that?
I think I'm okay. My youngest brother also okay. She When my mother died, of course, she took over the whole management of the home with housekeeping and marketing and making sure that we have that 3 meals a day. You know, my father, of course, left everything to her, and my father lived to a ripe old age, 90 plus. So he was with us till only a few years ago. So my mother died 43. He lived a whole stretch of his life, another 43. So he 90 over years old. Along the way, he did remarry, of course. You know, uh, so teenage life. I think we don't really give much problem to my sister. I was educated in a Methodist girls' school in Singapore, and then uh, after when I graduated, I took on a lot during that time, my time in the 70s. What girls do is usually we end up as a secretary, and then
Mhm.
we take a lot of side courses, typing, stenographer, like Lily Lane or something like Lane, and then I kind of upgraded my career from secretary to assistant, executive assistant, then office manager, and then do a little bit more for accounting and HR. Today, I'm with a multinational company. I'm very grateful that even at 69, going to 70, they are still giving me my payroll. Thank you. Yeah,
You
my
know,
peer, I think one of the latest to retire.
right, you know what? But we have to admit, you are saying that you are going to be 70 years old very soon. But to be honest with you, when I look at you, I thought you'd probably be in your late 50 max.
Wow, wow, thank you, Julie.
Yes, you do. And I really have to admit, a lot of people said, "Oh yeah, you Asian always stay young." But we have a rough part of our lives that kind of like showing on our face. So yes, you are.
So, so
You
maybe if it shows is because my life really, as you were saying, how do I grow up? I think I was sheltered, and I thank God it's quite a good, smooth life this past 69 years, and I thank God for it. Something about me too is that when you say the teenage, my mother died when I was 14, 15. I was in school, and strangely, if there's anything about me, strangely, when it came to when I was 18 years old, Julie, is it because God preserved me in her womb? At 18, I began to ask for the purpose and meaning of life. At 18, there was a complete, when I was in school, it's a happy go lucky person. At 18, something in my mind just switched, and I began to ask, what is life all about? Could it be because my mother died just like that? So I began to ask, what is the meaning of life? Is life just going to school, working, getting married, giving birth to children, and then that's it? So these were some of the questions I asked about life, and I searched for about a few years, and I realized that for us, we do have a God that loves us,
beautiful,
a God
beautiful.
that destined us, a God that give us purpose in life. So with that settled, so I become a happier person. Or else I was searching and searching. Is it I'm going to go through my career, then I'm going to get married, and then that's it? Like my mother, that's it.
Mhm.
So maybe her death has an impact on my wanting to know what life is all about.
So let me ask you, and this is a question that I know that we still ask ourselves every day. But I do believe that you have it. So if I was to ask you, what is your purpose of life? Um, what is your purpose of life? Do you ask yourself that every day?
As I connect with God, I come to realize that He is not a demanding God. Of course, this is over a journey of years of understanding this God who created us and the universe, that He is a loving God. What He wants to give us, Julie, is a good life.
Mhm.
I know the world is tormented by poverty, hunger, and even I really don't like the idea of country going into war and the citizens become victims. But this is something that it happens. I don't have the answer, but I only know that this God who loves us want to bless us, want to give us a good life. So I can say, in a way, Singaporeans is very blessed. We have really 50 years of peace. Wonderful. So if you ask me, what is God's mission for me, which is just be his mouthpiece
Mhm.
to encourage people, to give hope to people. So, what is God's purpose for me is to be a mouthpiece to share that God loves you. If you have an issue, go to Him, call out Him, and He will be there to help you. So, I think I remain, I'm sustained to be a mouthpiece for Him. Of course, Julie, uh, when you talk about purpose, I would like to talk. Sometimes it's very linked to passion. That's why my Singapore group is called Passion.
Compassion.
And because of on passive, we call it all passion.
Right.
So when I talk about purpose, I have to talk about passion, because how on passive revive my. I wouldn't say revive. The passion is always there. Uh, um,
It's actually
I have
brought the passion from within you
yes,
out.
yes. Many of our passion we can't fulfill,
Mhm.
but I think on passive will help us fulfill it. So one of my passion is, of course, how much can I help when there is poverty and homelessness? Financially, we are so restricted, huh? And then I have a passion, and that is, I've shared a little bit with friends. I have a passion for stray animals, stray cats, and stray dogs. So when you talk about uh, uh, what is God and me and passion, I told you I live to be a mouthpiece for Him, to give hope to people, to share hope. Then about myself, the purpose is that about strays. Something about me is that in my 40s, I'm just coming to 70 now, in my 40s up to almost 50s, up to 60s, Julie, I feed the strays around my compound, stray
Mhm.
cats. It's something that not every neighbor like. I
Yeah.
was approached, threatened by my neighbors. Why are you feeding the cats? So we moved from feeding cats voluntarily to thank God that our government, we do have a department called AVA that eventually gave us a pass, a badge to say that we can feed the cat legally. If
I s-
there are many people who don't like cats. They just naturally don't like cats. So when I feed them, I was scolded, I was rebuked, and they even called the police to come and check on me.
wow.
So that is my journey with stray cats. And when we feed these strays, there is a relationship. Do you know that cats, they wait, they know you're coming down. They wait for you 2 hours before. So even if it's rain or shine, you have to go down because they are waiting for you. So
Wow.
my compound in the 90s, I fit from the 90s to about maybe 2015 or something like that. Uh, and and there were 100 over cats,
Wow.
but you cannot just feed them. You have to spay them. You have to sterilize them as a what do you call? You cannot let them grow also. So in the feeding was easy, but Julie, to catch them, to sterilize them, that's not easy. So
Right.
I'm happy to say that today, 2024, my compound just have a handful. I think it's just about maybe under 10 or 6 or 7 of them. So we let them live their full life, but along the way they do die prematurely for strays.
Right.
And so we succeed. In a way, you succeed in containing the spray. In the
Right.
1990s, where there are 100 over, today we only have maybe under 10.
Wow. Wow.
That's a little bit about how I spend my spare time looking after strays animals. So I have a heart for the stray. And what is my purpose in life now, other than to be a mouthpiece, which I take that very seriously,
Mhm.
is that with the apples that Mr. Ash Mufareh is going to give us, I want to build safe haven for the strays, Julie. Of course, priority comes first for human beings. So I will do the best I can with the apples that I have for the homeless,
Mhm.
for the hungry, and
Mhm.
many people will share good causes of this.
Absolutely.
Am I
Absolutely. I love it. I love it that you know exactly what you want in life, and you know
Yes.
exactly that's your purpose of God keeping you alive here. And so
Yes.
let me ask you, you have mentioned about OnPassive, and I know that you're very active with OnPassive behind the scene. I know that you have the webinar, Oh Passion, that you and a group of friends, your circle of friends, are running it on Thursday morning. When did you join on Passive?
November, is it 17 or 18, 2020, 2020, November
No,
18.
November 18,
November 18.
2020. Wow, wow, that's a long time ago. How has it been for you, and what motivates you and inspire you to continue to hold the meeting, continue to be so active and on passive?
It's a divine arrangement. We always receive a lot of links to join this and to join that. And this link that I receive, I divinely click. And then Mr. Ash Mufareh's his first video in this 2020 was, I think, at least 45 minutes, if not an hour, where he shared his passion and what OnPassive is all about. Can you imagine? I listened right through. Usually we would click and then we just switch off within 10, 15 minutes. But for this man, Mr. Ash Mufareh, I could listen right through. And then there's something special about him. And after the video was done, I say, if I don't sign up $97 now, usually we would not come back to the link. Usually we would not. So I say, I have to do it now. And after that hour with him on his video, I signed up, and that is history. But what touched me in that video is when he shared with us what On Passive is about. At that time, probably not too much, but what touched me is he asked a couple of questions. He said, how much do you need? How much do you want financially? And then he said, if that is reached, if you have attained that, would you help the community? Would you, with more apples coming, would you help the others? So I find that On Passive is more than just ourselves. It is real. I think basically it's just this question: would you, when you are satisfied with what you want, would you help others? That was the key thing for me to press the button. Second thing he said, which I felt this man is extraordinary. He says that it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Mhm.
It's 10 times more, if not many times more. When you receive, you are happy. But when you are able to give, you are many, many times more happy. So there's something about this man and the movement is really about others. So that kept me going. And then, of course, um, I started sharing with some of my close friends and friends. And then after that, without fail, I would listen to him and the leaders to get, because that's all that I know about the video, and that's all I know about on passive. So I search a little bit more and find out. I must mention that is also divinely. We are Singapore and you are in USA. It's quite a distance, huh? And on passive, we have never heard about it. And then uh, I want to know more about it within 2 days. That means I signed up on the 18th. By the 20th or 21st, within 2 days, I found out who gave the link to Asia, and that is Dr. Bill Williams.
Mhm.
Can you imagine? Within 2 days, I could find the gentleman who gave us the link. Of course, my sponsor, the one who recommended to me, is Sim Chui Hia. And then I asked her, what is this on passive about? Who gave you this thing? He said, I don't know. I don't know. So after a day, the first day I asked him, the second day he managed to give me a name, Dr. Bill Williams. And I tell you, it's miraculous that I can get in touch with him. And
Mm,
then after that, he's the one who told us more and more about it and gave us the understanding of on passive. So
beautiful.
we were under him for many months to get to know on passive and then by the year 2021
Mhm.
September, we started having our own O Passion webinar every Thursday.
Yes, and in O Passion, you've brought many guests into O Passion as well. Guests that come that give positive inspiration, feedbacks, guests that
Yeah.
come talking about all kind of topics also, and but most of all, it's all about sharing the passion that each and every individual has. So congratulations for you and your team, you know, your circle of friends putting that together and continue to run it.
Yes. Yes.
Let
Yes.
me ask you really quick, what values, what values are most important to you from on passive based on what you've known so far?
I think the value right now, if I answer correctly, I mean, in line with what you're asking, the value is really, uh, you know, the apple's coming, the success that we're going to have is a done deal. Everything is done by Mr. Ash Mufareh. Our part is just to wait. So this waiting period, Julie, for us is actually a time of growing up, a time of having the right mindset to receive the apples. Apples can destroy you, can empower
When
you.
you are referring to apples, I just wanted to point out, uh,
Yes.
we mentioned the word apple because it has a lot of meanings to it. But when we refer to apple, we really meant the money, the earning that coming from the effort of everything that on passive is putting together
Yes.
for us.
Yes.
And as us, as a user, as an affiliate, when we are using their services, purchasing their services, and someone else that we share the interest of on passive, or we share what we love about the product, the individuals purchase, we get commission out of it. So it's an affiliate. So I just want to cut in and just um, because you're using a lot of
Yes.
word
Thank
apples,
you.
I just
Thank you.
wanted to clarify
And
that.
I love to use the word apples, Yeah,
It
it's
has a
so
lot of
meaningful. Apple
meaning
tree,
though.
apple garden.
Yeah.
There's a lot of meaning to it. And it's literally uh, what Mr. Ash Mufareh is giving us is the financial and time liberty. The apples really means financial and time liberty for us to do what we want, what the Lord is leading us, the passion. So, all the time, Julie, for me, is that the longer we wait, the we have time to realize our passion, realize realize the what God wants us to do. Time to dig out from our inside because um, when we go through life, whether it's smooth or difficult, usually is uh, you have to make a livelihood is never simple.
Mhm.
And even in Singapore, as we approach first world nation, there are still people who just live nice, just nice, but never enough. There are many people. So along the way, be it life's journey of 30, 40, or 50, we bury our passion, we bury our desire, we bury our dreams. We don't we think we cannot fulfill what we want to do. So the time given to us now, this 3, 4, or 5 years, whoever we encounter, is for us to have a positive mindset to make use of the apples when it comes. And as I said earlier, if you are not ready for the apples, it can destroy you overnight. It can make you a proud person. It can make you lose your cause, or it can empower you if you have a positive mindset and grow a mindset that can um, encounter and enable more. So, does that answer your question? What value most is
Sure.
the growing up of our mindset is the most important thing now. I think Mr. Ash Mufareh gave us many antidotes, something like that. If you lose your health, you lose something. If you lose your wealth, you lose something. But when you lose your character, you lose everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But which man, a CEO with so many responsibilities, can still come down to character? Oh my goodness, I can't describe him completely. But he continued to attract us and draw us with his very own character.
And his kindness and his generosity and his geniusness, I mean, it's like, and the grit that he carry, it's like, I will go to hell every day and come back, and I will make this happen. I
Mm,
love the fact that every time when he said, my name is Ash Mufareh and I was born to change your
yeah,
life. i, I mean, like,
yes,
who would, who, I mean, who has that character and who would confidently, because he know what he's doing, he has the skills, he has the heart, he has the ability to do that, but he show up every time and saying, once again, my name is Ash Mufareh, I am here to change your life. Amazing. Amazing. And
yes,
he has actually
amazing.
proved that to us. He has already done that so far.
What else can you ask when a man says, "Do it or die"? Well, that was almost the settling thing. And every time he says that, I say, God, don't let him die. Preserve him. Give him a long, good life.
Yes.
So when a man lay down his life for a cause, for you and I, what else can you ask? And
What,
for such a massive movement, as
yeah.
many leaders know, you cannot do it overnight.
No, you can't. It takes time. It takes heart. It takes sweat,
Yeah.
tears, and sickness. Just go through sickness to carry what you have. So let me
Yes.
so let me ask you really quick,
Yes.
knowing what you're knowing so far, what are you looking forward to? What would be the first things that you said, okay, I have received so far the values, whether or not financial values, whether or not the technology of it. What are you looking forward to do?
Um, I'm looking forward to good causes, join good causes. We have the ONPASSIVE family who will be sharing uh, their good causes, and whenever is possible, I will join them in their good causes. And then in Singapore, Malaysia, I would like to start literally the safe haven for the strays. I want to give them a place. Many people, they do not know where to send their strays. They can send to certain organization,
Mhm.
um, uh, but I want to have a place for them that every time they find a stray, they just bring it there, and
Mhm.
we let the strays live off their balance of their life, at least with a decency of shelter and food. So I will start with Singapore, and when we say the mindset, you we start planning. What is the first thing you can do? Connections, getting connections to build. I can't do it alone. Again, I can't do it alone. I have to get a lot of people who are passionate about strays to come together, and then we have to get a place to really, from the government probably, to house them. Do this in Singapore, and slowly, probably Kumaran will help me to do it in Malaysia. And
Yes.
then this is the physical thing that I will do. But then in participation, um, it will be with other global unpassive family. There are
Mhm.
great needs in many, many nations, too many to mention, too many to mention. But with God, we can do it, huh, Julie? With God, we can do it. And I think quite a few of us are late 60s or even 70s. And we believe we are never too late to
Mhm.
join with God to do something meaningful, powerful. So uh, I am not deterred by my age 70.
Mhm.
I think it could be a good start to,
Remember, I
to do
said you
something
only,
beautiful with what
yes,
God.
absolutely. And I said you only 50 something, so I'm not worried. You know, I'm not
Yeah,
worried.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
there's a
But
little
I still cannot take my life for granted. I
absolutely.
last, yeah, yeah.
I think there is a little bit delay for us.
I was admitted. I think I don't know. Yes. Okay.
Go
Can you
ahead.
hear me better now?
Yes, I can hear you better now.
Can you hear? Okay. Yeah. I think I was saying I cannot take my life for granted. I got to thank God every day, like Dr. Benny England. So thank God for every day, because last year and this year I have some heart issues. So so I'm trusting God for sustaining me to do what I love to do.
Beautiful. I love it. What about things that you would do for you
So
personally?
I think there is some delay, but yeah.
So, what would you do for yourself personally?
Repeat the question.
What would you do for yourself personally? Vacation?
Oh,
Travel?
myself. Okay, I'm still work. I'm still working. Yeah, I'm still working, so I probably will really take time off. And with all the time we have, it will be. I would like to enrich myself more. I would like to study more. I know even at 70, I would like to study more and only do what God will call me to. Traveling. Uh, I'm not too excited about traveling, but I'll come. I'll come and see some of our on-passive friends, to see you, Julie. Um, from Singapore to USA, the flight is many, 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 many hours. you know, so but we will make that special trip to meet our on-passive family members. That's of course something we must do. Um, I would like to continue to study. If I can be a
What
little bit more
are you
specific, study the Word of God,
studying?
and then I can't hear you. And then I will, if can, see what I can do with the to help the causes of feeding, the housing the homeless and feeding the hungry. I think I have spoken a lot about strays, but what is I just feel that when a country go into war, the citizens are the first to suffer. Overnight, they lose everything. And actually, it is within our power to, wherever they go, to house them, but we are not really doing it effectively. They become refugees overnight. Some are even in no man's land, setting up their home for 10, 20 years. But actually, we can build houses for them wherever they are, but we are not doing that effectively.
Right. Absolutely. There are so many things in the world that we can help. And it's always started within our family, our community, the area we lived in, um, the town we live in, and then the country. There's so many ways that we can do it. And I remember Mr. Ash Mufareh said before, on passive will literally reshape the entire world. And I believe that
Wow.
it can happen because it can happen when and if we can take care of the poor. And once the poor are taken care,
Yes.
Personally, I believe that it can change, it can reshape the entire world. How? That is something that we all need to come together, work together, and be able to literally have a plan to do that. How can we
Yes.
eradicate poverty? And that's what Mr. Ash had to
Yeah.
help kind of like stir that in our thoughts already. And so I believe we can make that happen.
Yeah. Technology wise, advancement side, we have gone to the moon and back. We can actually give fresh water to everyone.
Mhm.
We're just not effectively doing it. We can house the homeless and feed the poor. Globally, we are able to do it, but it's not done yet.
Mhm.
It's not done yet.
But it can be
So we
done.
could be the catalyst, and the 1.4 million of us, yeah, the 1.4 million of us affecting another few millions, and then we do it. We do it together with God's help. It's a job also for it's a massive project, but with God we can do it. And I must say that Mr. Ash Mufareh, we are so blessed. I'm so blessed to be live in this generation with Mr. Ash Mufareh, and for him to say yes to God, yes to the movement, and then going through all this. He says, he go through hell every day for us. He go through hell every day in order to give us a safe heaven in on earth. Thank thank God for his response to the call. And I'm so blessed, Julie, to be living in this generation and to know you and to know many, many great people in On Passive, and also to have a chance, this opportunity to live through time and financial liberty to do our part.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So blessed.
Thank you so much, Mabel, for your passion, for your contribution to Unpassive, especially to O Passion. I know that you have a group of friends that I'm looking forward to, and hopefully soon we'll get to know more of them that are doing a lot behind the scene. Continue to do it, and if anyone would like that here, Mabel speaking today with her passion, and if you feel like that you are connected to Mabel on her story, please continue to come and join her and her group of friends on O Passion on Thursday morning. And continue you have such a beautiful soul, Mabel, on what you're sharing. So continue to take care of those stray cats, and continue to do what you are doing because not it's here on passive. It's here. So let's spend a few more minutes talk a little bit about the technology of on passive based on what we have experienced so far. How do you love the technology in on passive, and what are you looking forward to use, um, products wise?
Of course, All Connect is something we are already assessing. I look forward to Academy, look forward to ONET, and then OMail, of course, is something that we will be so comfortable to be communicating through. It's a permanent email that we will have, so that is really, really good. Um, I think to build the business, if a little bit on our part that we can do, maybe is or tracker, is it that we can assess and make use of to buy, or tracker, is it
Yes.
traffic or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then yeah, um, ONET, something that we can social media where we can get together with the bigger family, the world and the global family. um,
I love the
Anything else?
technology. I love the technology of OnPassive.
Yeah, there's some delay.
Yes, there's some delay, so we kind of talk over each other. Um, but I really truly looking forward to
Okay.
technology of OnPassive is because it saved me a lot of time. When putting these video together, for example, there's no tools that have all of the things that I need to do
Mm,
in one place. And so
mm.
I'm looking forward to have all the tools that I needed in one place and easy to use and affordable to use. So that's what I'm looking forward to do. So I know there are a lot of things we could talk about on passive. There's a lot of things that we can sit down and share with each other. However, I really appreciate you very much to spend time here with me and giving me a chance to get to know you more, and also giving other people a chance to get to know you, and continue with that smile and stay young always, and continue with your old passion webinar on Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you, Julie, for inviting me to get to know me. And along the way, we all get to know you too, and all those people that you have invited to your show. Yeah, it's really a enriching time, to know each other's passion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And like I said, everybody has a story. So if you have a story to tell, um, here in the show Heart to Heart Connection, heart to heart communication is where we're getting together, and it's just having a conversation together, let our heart flow together, uh, tells who we are and say what we love, and have a passion to share with other people around the world, because I'm very sure there are other people around the world that in the same shoes as you are, or having the same passion. I'm very sure a lot of people that loves cat, taking care of cats or animal in particular, they will definitely reach out to you, and they might want to do what you do in Singapore as well. So it is a connection. So thank you so much for being here with me, and share your story. Any last word, Mabel?
Yes, thank you. And yes, as I thank Julie, I thank Mr. Ash Mufareh, and of course, I want to thank my host team member in Opassion for upholding this webinar all these years and supporting it, making it go. It's a teamwork. And so, on passive is always a teamwork. So I want to thank my team members for continuing their love for humanity and for on passive. And of course, for standing by, as many people are saying, for standing by Mr. Ash Mufareh. Thank you again.
Absolutely. I love your passion, Mabel, and thank you so much for being here. Take care, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.